my expectations going into the LVC. I mean, obviously, I've won this before. You know, I gotta find the balance of playing aggressive, but also, you know, not doing anything irresponsible early in the event to take me out of it. I know that there's a possibility of winning again. My expectation is just to play steady. A lot of the holes out here play to my strength, whether it be forehand or backhand. So, you know, not doing anything too dumb and just playing one hole at a time and hopefully get some birdies. And I think that's going to give me a good chance.
Hello and welcome everybody to the 2021 Las Vegas Challenge, the first event of the Disc Golf Pro Tour of the year. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by Nate Perkins, my co-host, and we have the round one front nine coverage here.
Brian, good to be here, man. It might be 7 o'clock in the morning, but the energy level is high right now. 2021 is going to be a huge season for disc golf.
We had a lot of people last year opt really not to come back on tour. They wanted to stay home. They wanted to stay in their area, obviously staying safe. But now it feels like everybody's kind of back out ready to go. And like you said, the energy is definitely there. We have an amazing card. Gregg Barsby, Brodie Smith, Eagle McMahon, Colten Montgomery, and we're playing the Infinite course at the Wild Horse Golf Club. What do you think about this course?
Easiest of the three, I would say. The most scoreable, coming in at a par 59. We've got 20 to 25 mile per hour winds this morning. We are teeing off, this card is teeing off at 8 o'clock in the morning. So cold, wind, definitely going to be a factor.
And Barsby's swinging this one wide. Hole one is a little shorter of a hole. The only danger is really that OB bunker you have to carry on the right side.
Yeah, it can definitely get in your head, and you've got this pine tree right off the tee that you kind of have to, it forces you to throw low. Eagle's going overstable mid-range here, and you can see that infinite disc flag just ripping.
Oh, and oh boy.
Has it got enough?
It does.
And it actually slowed it down.
And that
to
is
an even better shot.
Circle one.
That's a great shot considering the wind.
And I'm very excited to see what Brodie can do. Oh no. As I say that, he goes straight in the hazard.
Yeah, that's pretty much worst case scenario right there. That wind just slammed it. It shows you just how important that initial angle is.
And Colten with a pretty common miss, just sliding in a little bit long. And like I was saying, I'm excited to see what Brodie has in store this year. He really surpassed a lot of expectations his first year out here. And he's going to probably settle for a tap-in 4. And I believe it did sit. Colten will settle for a drop-in 3.
A little hot from Gregg.
There's the birdie for Eagle. This entire course has such challenging ground play, especially at this time of year. The ground is very firm. The grass is extremely short, with this being a golf course. And there's OB seemingly everywhere around these greens.
That's the name of the game out here, isn't it, Brian?
Absolutely. And with this wind blowing the way it is, it's very challenging to even predict what the ground play is even going to be. So playing the high percentage shots is very important out here.
Yeah, I mean, with absolutely no wind, this infinite track would 10, 15 down all day. But with the wind, you just...
everywhere.
All over the place. Scores are going to be all over the place.
Moving into hole number 2, 324-foot uphill. The real challenge is getting over this initial hump that's guarding the basket. Do you want to skip off the hill and slide to the basket, or do you want to try to carry it with an air shot? I think Eagle is lining up that power hyzer. Nice and wide.
Wow. That's really as good as you can throw it.
Absolutely.
I mean, the speed control on that shot.
especially with the downslope after the initial hump of the hill. Like, it's hard to even land the disc on that. Barsby with a good-looking shot here. Oh, yeah.
Another beautiful shot. I mean, it's so hard to get it inside circle one on this one. You have that bush on the front side of the hill that likes to catch a lot of these hyzers. Looks a little early from Colten. Circle's edge.
And just look at Brodie's throw. It's cleaned up so much since he started playing about a year ago. You can tell he's put the work in. He's about just outside circle one, it looks like.
Yeah, Brodie really has found his balance. And he's such a big guy. I imagine that he's just crunching the disc right now. And he looks so balanced when he's putting,
nice putt,
too.
Brodie.
Wow. What a huge start. Circle's edge putt into the headwind cross. I mean, he just is so upright. You know, he's not really stressing over that circle's edge look.
Yeah. And it's a great comeback after the bogey on one. And he drains that birdie.
Shout out to Discmania. They support me incredibly. I don't know what I'd do without them. Grip equipment, great disc golf bags. Love representing them. Huck Lab, Whale Sex. So all those guys are awesome. And last shout out, shameless plug, go subscribe to Eagles Vlogs. We're doing some practice rounds, some more casual vlogs throughout the season, so you won't want to miss it.
All right, Eagle McMahon, ladies and gentlemen. He is the player to beat at this event. Sexton might have won last year, but Eagle has not finished outside of the top 3.
Really?
Third, second, and first.
And with shots like this, huge flexing shot into the wind, 621-foot par 4, but he's making this look like chump change.
Is he pin high? I think he's pin high, Brian. Oh, he's pin high.
Just before pin high. And really, that's the name of the game on this hole, is just put it out there as far as you can. There's OB left, but so much room off to the right to put the disc.
That was a PD2 from Eagle.
Barsby put a pretty solid move on that. He's off to the right, but he's definitely going to have a pretty open look to the basket. And
look
that.
Brodie's
Wow.
angle control there, Brian.
Oh my gosh.
What a shot.
And he's just outside circle 2.
He's jump putting.
And that was something he struggled with early on when he started, was the distance, unlearning all those ultimate habits. And now it's...
He's found that balance.
Colten throws a little lower, but that is flexing out and actually could get a solid forward flare.
That's a PD2 from Colten as well.
Solid, soft landing from Barsby.
And we've got to note that all week during the practice days, we didn't really have this kind of wind.
Absolutely not. Completely calm, and today they started the tournament with 15 to 25 mile an hour winds, which really makes every single shot you take.
And Eagle just stands still, putting a mid-range. Brodie also approaching with a standstill putt. Very impressive from both of them.
And Barsby's going to cash the birdie. This is one of the easier holes in the course. As a par 4, it did average a 3.43. So you are losing strokes getting a par on this hole.
Brodie back on track after Starting with that bogey. Back under par.
And we're going to move into hole number 4 here. 390 feet downhill, OB directly behind it. Most righties are going to play some sort of subtle hyzer along the right side. There are a couple trees to contend with in the beginning, but not when you throw that kind of shot. There was a pretty hard crosswind. You see it getting shoved right now.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That was really exposed, and it just did not let it swing. Maybe too high, a little too nose up right there, Brian?
Yeah, a little bit high. That crosswind just wouldn't let it push to the left. And Barsby looks like he's going to correct and go a little bit straighter. Yeah, little flat to fade shot.
Oh, you can see that left or right also pushing Gregg's disc wide, not letting it swing like he intended, and he's going to have that headwind cross putt right there on the elevated bucket. Such a big difference, Brian, a 30-footer versus a 20-footer in these conditions. I mean,
Absolutely.
Those add up.
Especially on an elevated basket.
Yeah.
The green is so much more shrunk than it would be on a standard height. Clean release from Brodie. I like that.
He's asking for it to sit.
Yeah, solid. Circle 1.
He's got that tailwind.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing to keep in mind on conditions like this is making sure you put the disc or aim to put your disc on the side of the basket that you like putting on. Otherwise, you could really struggle from even short distances like 15 feet.
Colten going lone howl 2.
I like this. Ooh, and that almost hit the bin. Wow.
Look at that shot.
Just playing catch with the basket. Drop in par. This is a tough putt here.
Oh, this is right to left. This is not great for Gregg's putt. Oh, did he go right of the bucket?
I did not quite see it, but his comebacker is still no gimme.
I think he was playing it right, hoping for that swing.
Great
Huge
comebacker.
putt.
And that's the thing, especially out at Wild Horse, the winds are gusty. They're not necessarily consistent, so sometimes when you try to play that crosswind, it stops the moment you release the disc. And there's a solid birdie from Brodie. That's 3 in a row.
This is just really special, honestly, Brian, watching Brodie Smith be where he's at right now. I mean, he's competing with some of the best golfers in the world within a year of.
And we are going to move into hole number 5, 360-foot par 3. This one has 2 routes. You can go forehand route left and try to skip it off the hard ground. A lot of players, especially with this wind, are going to be going right backhand. Yeah, off to the right side here. Brodie going a little high.
Settle. That's deep. He's going to have that headwind look.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of plays on this hole are not air shots to a soft landing. A lot of people are playing the skip shot and taking into consideration these 40, 50-foot skips that they have to get to land it.
Colten's going mid-range here, Brian.
And I think he is trying to do what I was just talking
Looking to
about.
get flat. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, he has so much power.
Yeah, was that even a mid-range?
That was a mid-range.
Wow.
That was an exo-hard method.
And that, I guess, if you want to do that, that's the way to land it softly on these greens.
Goodness.
Great shot from Colten. And here's that other option I was talking about.
That's a 60% stroke right there from Eagle. One angle. No, it doesn't.
There's the one guardian tree that you had to
No.
miss. Still has a...
He's
oh,
100
no.
feet away. Wow. That's just unfortunate.
Checking out that left side. Barsby, definitely one of the best sidearm players in the game. But also one of the best backhand throwers in the game as well. He has options.
One of the journeymen of disc golf. Been playing almost his entire life. 2018 world champion.
Ooh, a little flex out of the hand.
Oh, get the good skip on the hill. Get the good curl.
Come on.
Ooh, sometimes they
Oh
they
my
like
gosh.
to curl toward the bucket, Brian, and sometimes they like to run away.
And it's still rolling.
Man, that's unfortunate. And that's a huge difference between being under the bucket and having a 28-foot headwind putt.
Mm-hmm. And he has conceded the par after kind of an unfortunate roll.
Brodie not happy with that one. It looked to me like he was laying it up, but maybe he was just trying to get it up into the wind and let it carry on in.
Likely trying to stall it into that headwind and softly land it rather than having the disc carry away. Kind of an educated guess, but it's definitely hard to throw those with commitment, you know, and also try to get them to land softly. You're playing the miss as well as the make.
Look at that flag just changing directions as you just mentioned. Oh,
Just off the top.
Such a good putt from Gregg. He committed.
And yeah, after the mid-range play from Colten, that's a beautiful shot and a third birdie in a row for Colten. He moves to 3 under par. Solid round going for him.
That's a great start. This historically is not a great event for Colten. I don't believe he's finished inside the top 50.
Which is so surprising to me because
With his power.
Oh my gosh, one of the sneakiest long throwers that I've ever seen. We watched him win the Waco Pro Tour last year with a
Multiple
crazy
eagles,
stretch of eagles.
PDs.
And here we go, hole number 6, a controversial hole in the world of disc golf.
For sure.
Personally, I think this hole is great. It puts so much pressure. It reminds me of an NBA free throw. There's a lot of pressure on such simple shots.
Kick back. I call it the leapfrog hole.
Mm-hmm. And right there, it's a 150-foot layup to this first island, and a professional player has missed it.
It's touchy. I like this play right here. High forehand mid-range from Brodie.
Yeah.
He's just going to have a jump putt from there.
And it is called a par 4. This is no mistake. To those of you who have not seen this hole before, the landing zone is tiny, right in front of the tee pad, but by the basket, the second landing zone is even tinier. So you can run the eagle, but you risk going all the way back to the drop zone if you go out of bounds.
And interesting to note, too, that Ezra Aderhold's card teed off a half hour before this card, and they had 3 eagles on their one card.
Wow. This is not a big green to be throwing out.
No, it was ripping tailwind. Hard to get a disc to sit down this much wind.
And Eagle has pretty much gone jump putt, jump putt.
That's a skill, though. I mean, he makes it look easy, but not everybody has the capacity to jump putt that clean.
Exactly. It is a huge skill to have. And that's going to sit down, and it does.
Brodie just gets the front lip of it.
And, you know, and this hole looks so simple, yet it averaged only a 3.6.
I want to give a big shout out, obviously, to Discmania and Grip Equipment, my 2 main sponsors. Without them, you know, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. It would all just be a dream. Want to give a big shout out to my family, mom, brother, dad back home for the nonstop support. Kona, of course, and her family. And yeah, just stoked to get 2021 going. Kona and I have been doing a better job taking care of our bodies, and we can tell, you know, we feel great coming into this season.
All right, keep going, Colten. You're an inspiration to a lot of people out there. Keep going.
And hole number 7, par 3, 358 feet. It is a subtle hyzer downhill, and the basket's kind of tucked neatly between these trees on this ridge here. And Brodie's thrown a great shot.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's parked.
Speed control with that fairway right there.
Yeah, this is one where you really have to find your spot that you want to skip the disc. Just like that. Parked.
I didn't think you could get any closer.
Oh, yeah.
Those are two incredible shots. To land on that hillside like that. And a little bit different, too. Eagle went wide with that skip. Brodie's was a little bit more direct.
Yeah, a little bit higher, a little bit more direct, and got more of a forward skip. And Eagle went lower and got kind of that panning long skip. Barsby's a little bit outside of the circle. And Colten has just put this way too far left.
The FD3 just a little bit too stable. Oh, Gregg running that one, even with the sidewalk OB long.
High left for Colten. That's going to be a drop in 3 for him. And there are those gusts taking the world champion's putt.
Right out of his hand.
Yeah,
it looked
really
like.
kind of a nasty stroke on that one. But again, it was one of those wins out there where even when you were trying to take your putting stroke, it was blowing the disc in your hand. So kind of a misfire from Gregg. And there's a relief of a birdie for Brodie, not having to putt on the screen. That brings him to 4 under par. And Eagle just quietly moves to 5 under par.
5 through 7. Impressive.
And we're going to move into hole number 8. One of the hardest holes in the course. This is a 725-foot par 4 with an OB pond and an OB green, and then an OB little stream directly behind the basket. This is a very guarded green with a slope moving towards out of bounds. The players are really going to have to trust their first shot through this gap and then land a very soft shot up by the basket.
They moved this pin back this year, making it a much more interesting drive. It's low ceiling, but you need to get the nose up so that you can get the carry that you need to get into position.
Yes, and that's what's tough with this crosswind they have, this left to right. Since you are throwing down, the nose on the disc is going to be down. So you have to throw something super stable to get that flare. As you saw Eagle try to slam that disc on Heiser.
That's a veteran play from Eagle right there. He's going to be in position for a forehand approach. You can see Brodie's just got slammed left to right. He wasn't the only player to get slammed left or right on this hole yesterday.
And
look at that. Just
Colten.
ice skating on that grass, like you said, Brian.
Colten's way up there. And early release from Gregg. And he probably is going to chip this up in front of the green. Yeah. Little bit far back. He's still going to have some work to do.
Yeah, he might have to approach with a fairway.
And here's that sidearm from Eagle. Sit down. Great shot.
Amazing. Speed control, off the green, short of the OB.
And Brodie breaking out the sidearm as well. This has got to go. And it does.
He's got plenty of speed with that forehand to score out here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of the best sidearm throwers I've ever seen in Ultimate, and been able to transfer that over to disc golf. Colten, unfortunately, has gone out of bounds.
Man, yes, Colten getting slowed down a little after a hot start.
Another one of those safe runs from Brodie. You could tell he was definitely taking that out of bounds into consideration. And Colten has missed his putt as well. Barsby's going to tap in the par.
Happy to see Gregg out here in the sunshine after enduring that crazy Texas storm,
Yes,
Brian.
absolutely.
Sending love to all those out there that dealt with the hardships that that storm brought. Wow.
And we're going to move into hole number 9, par 4, 597 feet. This was the easiest hole on the course. Nate, walk us through this.
Yeah, par 4, you've got OB right. You have this hillside right in front of you that kind of can get in your head and makes you throw it a little higher than you would like to. It is drivable for Eagle and Colten. It looks like Eagle's just pitching his hyzer into position. And then from there, he's just going to go standstill approach. That grass is out of bounds right there, and you do have to think about that a little bit. It's really just that hillside and not flipping it over that sidewalk, right?
Exactly. This is one that you have to 3. You're falling behind the field. It averaged over a half stroke under par. Barsby's not necessarily sawed this off, but didn't get the distance he wanted. And that is crushed from Colten.
Yeah, he's hitting the disc hard.
Playing the hill for Gregg. That's going to be about 20, 25 short. About 10 feet for Brodie.
It's going to be a 5 under par on the front 9 for Brodie. No. Wow. He can jump putt so far,
Yeah,
Brian.
that was about 200 feet.
Colten sticks it, corner pocket.
It's going to bring him back to 2 under par after that bogey. Oh, and that was just a little bit of a misfire again from Gregg. The putting stroke is just not really moving right now. You could tell he held on to that late. Another birdie for Eagle. He moves to 7 under par through 9 holes. This is the pace that you need to be moving at to win these days. And Brodie moves to 5 under par through 9. Still at a solid pace.
Love seeing that. I love seeing that. We can tell the man has put in the work this offseason.
And to broadcast that to the entire world, to watch that journey happen, it's definitely an admirable thing to do, and it's definitely paying off. And there you have it, folks. There's our front 9. Eagle and Brodie are playing fantastic. Brodie has the 1 blemish on hole 1. Barsby and Colten are sitting at 2 down, and there's a lot of scoreable holes in this back 9. Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media on YouTube, and we will get you with the back 9 shortly.